Hey guys, The Sports Entertainer here, back with some more wrestling news. Join us as The Sports Entertainer looks at all the breaking wrestling news and rumors you need to know, including Triple H addresses controversy after Gunther versus Randy Orton, Paul Heyman sends a message to Roman Reigns amid WWE hiatus, a wrestling veteran addresses Becky Lynch's future in WWE following her loss to Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring, and much more. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you never miss out on an episode. Wrestling veteran addresses Becky Lynch's future in WWE. Now, yesterday at the King and Queen of the Ring 2024 event in Saudi Arabia, Becky Lynch defended her Women's World Championship against Liv Morgan, and through the seemingly inadvertent help from Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan capitalized on the moment and used Dominic's interference to her advantage by utilizing the steel chair Dom had thrown into the ring. And when it was all said and done, Liv Morgan was crowned the new Women's World Champion. Now, Becky's defeat in her first title defense has led some fans to question what's next for Becky Lynch in WWE, as prior to WrestleMania 40, rumors swirled around that Becky was going to be taking some time off from WWE following the showcase of the Immortals. But it seemed like Rhea Ripley's unceremonious injury, which resulted in her vacating the title, kept Becky around for the time being. However, Becky's no longer the Women's World Champion, so some fans believe that Big Time Bex could be taking her hiatus or break from WWE now, even though Becky's currently talking about a rematch with Liv Morgan. Now, perhaps Becky does get the rematch with Liv in the near future, and should she lose, which in all honesty we would fully expect Becky to lose the rematch, maybe then Becky Lynch would take her break from WWE, but for anyone worried about Becky legitimately leaving WWE, because her current contract is set to expire soon, and that publicly it hasn't been made official if Becky has re-signed with WWE, you probably don't have to worry about that happening, as wrestling veteran Matt Morgan basically addressed Becky's future with WWE on a recent episode of the Gigantic Pop podcast, and answered a question regarding whether Becky's title loss to Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring had anything to do with Becky's contract situation with WWE, with Matt Morgan saying, quote, "She's not going anywhere, her husband just re-signed. As soon as they acknowledge her contract situation on the air, she's already re-signed and they're gonna just make that into a storyline." Okay, I can see that, maybe they would be smart to do it, but again, none of us are gonna suspend our disbelief and think that she's gonna go away from her husband, no way. They love the life they have on the tour bus together as a whole family. I would have killed for that opportunity. One of the reasons I left wrestling, the reason, was when I became a dad and I knew I needed to stay at home. And 2 years later, when my son was diagnosed with as being nonverbal autistic, I knew that was the right call, but part of me always wished I made that kind of money, that I could have had my wife flying to every city, my son, and be able to be a dad nonstop, 7 days a week, you know what I mean? And they have that dream. That is a dream, make no mistake about it. To live out your dream as a pro wrestler and have your family with you, that's huge. And I do not see her walking away from that at all. No way. Now, honestly guys, we do see Becky Lynch re-signing with WWE if she hasn't already, although we do personally expect to see Becky take a break or hiatus from the ring following a rematch with Liv Morgan in the near future that would see Becky Lynch lose to Liv. But again, a break from the ring is one thing. No way do we see Becky actually leaving WWE for another wrestling company like AEW. Next up, a top AEW star feels sad watching Ricochet's matches in WWE. Now, AEW star Will Ospreay was recently interviewed by comicbook.com, and among the subjects that were addressed, the high-flying Ricochet came up, with Will Ospreay expressing that he believes Ricochet is one of the all-time great high flyers in wrestling, but feels like it's an upsetting experience watching his matches in WWE, with Ospreay saying, quote, "I keep up with him all the time and sometimes I get a little bit sad about it. I hope he's not sad, and I hope he's real happy. I keep up with him as much as I can, but I feel like people are forgetting who Ricochet was once upon a time. All of these high flyers that you see, and myself included, we all took inspiration from Pac and Ricochet. The fact that they only value his time for under 5 minutes is appalling to me. I just want people to remember who he is. If you go and look at 2012-2013 Dragon Gate Ricochet, he was untouchable at the time. When it came to this generation of high flyers, he was the greatest. He's the greatest high flyer ever. I know it sounds weird, but I do include him on the same level as Rey Mysterio. Will Ospreay would continue by talking a bit about Ricochet's contract status with WWE, and making it clear that there are people in AEW who truly appreciate his work. Quote, "I don't know how much longer he has got in his contract, but I think it might be up soon, man. I don't know. I want him to know that there are people here that genuinely appreciate his work, and I want to wrestle him again. I want him back here. I want him to know that there isn't a bar. You are the effing bar. I just want to see him with more time and ability to showcase himself how I saw him. He's one of the best going, and if the opportunity presents itself, I think he should bet on himself. I think he should remind himself that he's one of the best high flyers to ever do it. If it means he's gotta come for me, then do it, boss, because I'm right here waiting for you." Now, as of this video, we don't have any details regarding exactly when Ricochet's WWE contract is expiring, but apparently it's not that far off into the future in 2024. And what are your thoughts on Will Ospreay's recent comments about Ricochet? And do you guys think that Ricochet has been booked badly in WWE, and that he should perhaps consider leaving WWE for AEW or another wrestling company that would better utilize his talents? Next up, Paul Heyman sends message to Roman Reigns amid WWE hiatus. Now, the Wiseman sent birthday wishes to the real tribal chief of the bloodline, Roman Reigns, on Twitter or X the other day, because for those of you unaware, Roman Reigns celebrated his 39th birthday yesterday on May 25th, with Paul Heyman saying, quote, "Happy birthday to my tribal chief, the biggest box office attraction in WWE history, the GOAT Roman Reigns." Now, judging by the comments of Paul Heyman's post sending birthday wishes to the tribal chief on Twitter, it's clear that a lot of fans miss Roman Reigns and hope that he makes his triumphant return soon, and honestly, we hope that Roman comes back soon as well, as SmackDown and the Bloodline specifically isn't the same without him. Next up, Triple H addresses controversy after Gunther versus Randy Orton at King and Queen of the Ring. Now, last night we witnessed Nia Jax being crowned the Queen of the Ring following a big victory over Lyra Valkyria, and on the men's side, after a grueling, hard-fought tooth-and-nail match, Gunther defeated Randy Orton to become the 2024 King of the Ring. At least that's what we thought right in the moment, because not long after the match was over, a lot of wrestling fans called out the fact that when Gunther went for the pin over Randy Orton, Randy's left shoulder was clearly up off the ground as the referee counted to 3, which caused some to claim that the match decision should be reversed, or that Randy Orton should get another match with Gunther, as it wasn't a fair loss given the fact that he wasn't seemingly legitimately pinned. However, botches like this do happen in WWE, with one example being Ronda Rousey's shoulders weren't on the mat when she was pinned for the 3 count at WrestleMania 35, although that decision was not reversed. And Triple H reacted to the Gunther and Randy Orton controversy following King and Queen of the Ring by saying, quote, "So live, I was out there. From my vantage point, it was very difficult to see. Was in the ring, handed the crown to Gunther, very happy for him. Incredible night, what a performance they both put on. Coming back here and seeing it back, look, I saw exactly what you saw, I saw what everybody saw, I saw what everybody is talking about. Didn't even really seem controversial to me. It just seemed like Randy Orton's shoulder wasn't down. But I'm gonna say this, the referee's decision is final. Gunther is your King of the Ring. That being said, especially after what I saw tonight, I certainly want to see that again. I think Randy Orton deserves to have another shot at that. And I think if I know anything about Gunther, he will want to have another shot at that, to take the controversy out, to take the asterisk off of the page where it says King of the Ring for him. I think he will want to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is better than Randy Orton. So I think having seen Randy back here, he's pretty banged up, both his knee and his back. I think it's going to be a moment or two before he is ready to step back into the ring with Gunther, but when he is, let's go. Clearly the decision won't be reversed in this instance, but let us know if you guys feel it should be, and that Randy Orton was robbed, or was this simply a botch that obviously wasn't supposed to happen, but that it shouldn't mean Gunther should be disqualified or have the match decision reversed because of it as mistakes happen? Let us know. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.